chartered members of the club. He's an honorary member, he's an ex-minister, and he has a successful story in both professional and Rotarian career. With no further ado, I would like to call upon Past President Abdulla Juma to share with us his best memories in the club.
I'll be very brief. I have only a few minutes to talk about the history of the club. And as Rotary as a whole, as you know, was formed as an international service organization. And that was more than about 115 years ago, and still going very well. Now in Bahrain, or in the Gulf, it started, the Rotary Club of Manama started in 1965. That was the first club in the Gulf. It was formed by a number of interested people, and 27 prominent members decided to form the Manama Club, and that's all well known. Sheikh Mohammed Mubarak Al Khalifa and Joe Josephson, who was the chief executive of Babco, and Yusuf Al-Muayyad, Ali Hussein Yatim, Jasim Fakhro, Atma Jashimal, Sheikh Daij Al-Khalifa, Sadiq Al-Buharna, Muhammad Al-Hassan, Muhammad Al-Hassan, and many others were the founding members. And the story of the Manama Club was very good. It was a very successful club, and it gave a good image of Rotary. And based on that, some members, some Rotarians and individual members decided to form a new club. And I was first invited by Rotarian Khalid Al-Muayyad, that was in 1971, to attend a meeting. And I didn't know anything about it. I had no idea what is Rotary at all. So the meeting was held at the Moon Plaza Hotel, which doesn't exist now. And at that meeting, they explained about the idea of forming a new club and the objectives and how it works as a service as an organization to serve the community. And so we all, the interested ones, start to work on it more, and we received a provisional status after we've done the formalities and applications, so and so forth, to form a new club. So the provisional status was given to us, and held our first meeting as the Rotary Club on 28th of April 1971. So 1971 was really a first meeting attended by 30 chartered members, and I was very proud and honored to be one of that group to attend this meeting. And we agreed at that meeting the name Salmaniya, after many names were proposed, and Salmaniya was accepted at the end, and elected Sheikh Isa bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, the late Sheikh Isa, to become the first president of the Rotary Club Salmaniya. Well, now some of the members have left us, fortunately, and many of them are no longer living in Bahrain, they are outside Bahrain. As far as I know, from the founder members in Bahrain at the moment, Mr. Khalid Al-Muayyad, Mr. Khalid Zayani, Khalil Zaman, Babu Kiloram, and myself. And sorry if I missed some others, but I don't think there are any others in Bahrain anymore. Later on, the meetings of the Gulf were moved from Delmon to the Gulf Hotel, where we spent a long time in Gulf Hotel before, until at a later time, it was moved to the Hilton Hotel. The club celebrated the receival of the charter on the 16th of December 1971. And that date coincided with a very important occasion, which is the Bahrain First National Celebration Day. That was the first national day for Bahrain at that time. That was after the independence was declared for Bahrain. So these two occasions were at the same time. So that was at the 16th of December 1971 when this was first celebrated. And there was we attended, or the club organized a party or a big reception evening for this occasion. And it was attended by many members of the society and ministers, and it was a big occasion to celebrate the formation of the new club, Salmaniya. And many governors, the district governor at that time, and about 9 other past governors and club presidents from the district attended the celebration. It was really a high standard, a grand party. And there's one point which I always like to mention is the logo. As we see it, the logo of the club is still until now the same logo. And as I'm sure some of you know, that the person who designed is Mrs. This Khail Zaman's wife, Hamida Khunji. She designed the logo, and it was accepted by the members, and until now I'm very happy to see it's going. I served actually in many different committees, like Community Service Committee. We have done many projects at that time, donating different equipment to the Salmaniya Hospital at that time. I was a member of the membership committee. I was a member of the classification committee, which is now it's one committee. It used to be 2 different committees. So, and I became the president of the club as the 8th president during 78, 79. Mr. Abdulla Juma was the immediate past president. And the president who came after me is Mr. Khalil Shakib, and followed by Nashar Kotani in 1980-81. Now, during the period that I served as president, I was, I think, lucky that I was at that year, because it was extremely interesting year. So much work, but and achieved good work. The first event, the main event, was the first raft race. That was March 1979 was held. And also at the same time, which is just a month after that event, was the first district conference in Bahrain, which was held in April 79. So 2 big events happened during that period. Now, as you know, the Sheikh Isa bin Muhammad al-Khalifa was the governor of the district at that time. Now, talking about the raft race, at the board, when the idea was discussed, and we had the objective of finding a project of a grand scale, a project that will create awareness about Rotary, it will create funds, and it's something that different than what's been done before. And after long discussion, the idea was thrown in as to hold a raft race. And it was really unacceptable. There was so much talk and discussion until finally it was accepted. And we chose a member who was very active member, a good leader by the name Tony Cavicuti at that time, who was a member of the club. He headed that committee. I don't know, I think some of you might still remember him. And the objective was very modest, was to do something to achieve 5,000 up to 10,000 dinar. But the results was amazing. When it was done, the amount achieved was about 5 or 6 times this amount which we thought we will do. The district conference came, just as I said before, a month after that event. And the participants were really impressed by this project, which was submitted to them at that time. And actually, they have wanted to visit the site even. So we have taken a group of the visiting Rotarians or attending the delegates to the site at Dry Dock. And that was the first site chosen to hold this event, was the Dry Dock Beach. And as I said, the conference was held under Sheikh Isa Muhammad. He was the chairman, and 3 delegates from the Rotary Clubs of Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, Cyprus, Sudan, and Bahrain attended. Very good programs were arranged, and things went very, very well, extremely well. And it was a talk in Bahrain about such a big function in those days. And one of the very important functions which was held, it was a dinner function arranged by late His Excellency Tariq Al-Muayyad, who invited all the Rotarians and all the delegates, all the participants, together with senior government officials, business community, etc. They were in a large tent at the existing site of the museum, where even Margaret Thatcher happened to be in Bahrain, and she attended that function. So it was again another grand meeting or function for the Rotary. During the 55 years of Rotary in Bahrain, the 5 clubs really have tried hard, and they were successful, I think, in winning many awards, district awards, prizes for their work. And I'm very happy, and I hope they will continue to gain. And now there are 4 clubs, of course, Rotary clubs in Bahrain. And one thing which I would like to advise Rotarians, they must do, and that's to attend district conferences, because it's a very useful tool to help Rotarians to understand more and to exchange with other members. I attended 2, one in Beirut and one in Cairo. Those are the ones. And don't forget, you must make at least 1 attendance to the convention, Rotary convention, which is, again, it's a completely different scale, different organization. It's amazing. I attended the one in Dallas, and it was in 1982, and the attendance was about around 14,000 delegates from all over the world. And it's amazing, and I really recommend that one. So before I conclude, is that one point which I have talked about it before, and it's the image of Rotary in the society. It's after all these years of service, all the work that's been done, still there is something wrong with the image, and people in newspapers and books, etc., and they link the name with other organizations, which raising doubts about the mission and objectives of the club, of the Rotary movement. And I hope that we should, in these years, we should try to do something after all these successes, all these achievements, still this comes up. So I think the media should be always with us to cover events, etc. This one of the tools I think would help to improve the image. Well, I think that's all I have the comments about the early days of Salmaniya Rotary. Thank you very much, and all the best to all Rotarians and for your mission.